English stories. The Mabel on Midsummer Day. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young girl named Mabel. One midsummer day, Mabel's mother asked her to visit her grandmother and help her with chores, as her father was away and her little sister, Amy, was sick with a fever. Mabel gladly accepted and set off with a cake, some butter, and a flask of lemonade for her grandmother. When Mabel arrived, she eagerly helped her grandmother with the daily tasks. After completing the chores, her grandmother asked Mabel to fetch water from a nearby well, gather dry faggots from the fir wood, and milk the mother ewe in the lonesome glen. Mabel's mother had warned her of the fairies that lived in the woods and by the well, so Mabel took care to follow her mother's advice. As she fetched water from the well, Mabel saw a small lady dressed in green and white, the queen of the fairies. Mabel was careful not to disturb the water, and the fairy queen was pleased. She granted Mabel a gift: whatever Mabel did, she would do well, and she would always be loved. Next, Mabel went to the fir wood to gather dry faggots. She took care not to break any living branches or disturb the brownies, the spiteful fairies living in the woods. The brownies watched her closely and were so impressed by her kindness and respect for their home that they left a silver penny for Mabel to find. Finally, Mabel went to the lonesome glen to milk the mother ewe. She was careful not to pluck any strawberry flowers or break the lady ferns, as her mother had advised. As she milked the ewe, she wished for her little sister Amy to become strong and healthy again. Suddenly, she heard the sound of 1,000 fairies gathering around her. The fairies noticed that Mabel had shown great respect for their home and decided to grant her a wish. They agreed to fulfill her latest wish, which was for Amy's health to improve. Mabel, filled with gratitude, returned to her grandmother's house, carrying the blessings of the fairies. With her chores completed, Mabel headed back to her own home, eager to share the news of the fairy blessings she had received. When she arrived, her family noticed that her sister Amy had made a miraculous recovery. Mabel knew that it was the fairies' doing, and she was grateful for their help. From that day on, Mabel continued to be a kind, helpful, and loving girl. The 3 fairy blessings she received on that midsummer day stayed with her throughout her life.